So I'm just going to demonstrate again because I realised that the angle you probably couldn't see for demonstrating on the chair. So for cat stretch, we want to make sure we're not too far away or too close. Have the feet spread on the floor, that's great. Want to make sure our spine's elongated from the head to the pelvis, so we're not extending or curling too much. And then here we can drop the head and the tail towards each other. My knees are soft, ankles are soft. And then again, keeping the knees soft and uncurling that, and only going as far as comfortable so we don't drop into the shoulders. We don't have to strain the neck there. So just gently dropping the head and the tail. Great. And then the same with threading the hand under, pressing my weight into my right hand, threading the left one through, either dropping to the elbow. My feet are spread and my knees are still soft. So this is if you can't do it or feel uncomfortable on the floor. Or if you want to, you can drop onto your shoulder if that's possible. A bit more difficult standing and using the chair. So just drop down onto the elbow. And the same the other side. So pressing the weight, just dropping down. We're just letting the shoulder girdle have a nice twist there. Great. And press into the left hand. And then let the weight come back to your feet before standing up. Great. So I'm just going to move the chair out of the way. So if you're on the floor, if you come and make your way up to standing, taking your time, and we'll come to parallel, whether that's hip or shoulder width apart, whatever feels comfortable for you. And we'll just press and pad the feet into the floor, waking up the soles of the feet. It's lovely. All those bones and muscles in the foot. And then let the feet spread on the floor, relaxing the toes. So we just lift the toes, release them onto the floor, and then just gently lift the heels. The same again, drop the heels. Just gently lifting the toes, resting the toes, lifting the heels, letting the heels rest on the floor. That's great. Let's see if our shoulders are released. Scapula's sliding down the ribs at the back. Lovely. So let's just do some brushing the nervous system. So we do either dough in or gentle squeezes or self-tapping, but this time let's do generous brushes. So let's start by generating some chi and ki into the hands between the palms. That's great. So starting from the head, you start from the eyes and the eyebrows, brushing from the face, side of the head, top of the head, brushing down the nerves through the face, making sure your hands are washed obviously before touching your face. That's a note I should have mentioned at the start. Brushing the hands over the face and the skull, back of the skull, onto the neck. It's like firm brushes, so you can release one arm. So I'll show you. I'm moving from the side of my neck down to the shoulder and down the arm, side and back of the arm. Only go and reach as far as is comfortable. You might only want to reach here, and that's totally okay. Same on the other side, brushing from the neck, the occipital point on the head, down the neck and the shoulders. Great. And then brushing the upper chest, firm brushes, and onto the shoulder, choosing one shoulder. We'll just brush down the inside of the arm all the way to the hands. That's great. And then the same the other side, gentle, firm, gentle but firm brushing all the way down to the hands. And then take that to the sternum, brushing the sternum onto the lower ribs, onto the belly, into the pelvis. I'll just turn around so you can see. So I'm just going to drop my head a little way forward and only reach up as far as is comfortable. This is straining, so I'm only going to go to kidney area and just brush down from the kidneys, the lower ribs at the back, onto the sacrum and the pelvis. Releasing my head and neck. Okay, I'll turn back round again. So I'm going to come back up to standing, soften the knees a little more, brushing the pelvis. So we're going to go down the outside of the legs. Actually, I'll do one leg at a time. So if you can, only go as far as is comfortable. If it's okay to go to the knees, that's great. Maybe just to the pelvis if that's too much on your lower back. And imagining going down all the way to the feet. If you're comfortable to do so, we can brush down the legs all the way to the toes and into the floor. And then on curling, making sure the head's the last to come up, and the same on the other side. Brushing down the leg, only going as far as is comfortable, no straining anything. Firm brushes all the way down to the ankles and into the feet, into the floor. That's lovely. And having the feet spread. So we'll just do our usual that we do every week. Shift the weight into one foot. We're going to circle the ball of the foot into the ground. Oh, that's better. My right foot feels a bit clunky today. But let's see, perhaps it needs a bit more attention in that gristly bit. Or perhaps that's too uncomfortable, so we can skip over it. That's great. Lovely. And the other way if you haven't changed direction already. The bit where the toes are attached to the ball of the foot and the back of the ball of the foot as well. And then gently tucking the toes under if you can. We want to open the front of the ankle there. That's great. Dropping the weight in. If that's too much, just lifting the heel to reopen the front of the ankle as well. That's great. And then gently stepping that back. Step that foot back into a lunge, opening the back of the leg all the way up to the pelvis. That's great. And again, tucking those toes under, or gently lifting the heel up and placing the leg wherever's comfortable. Might be better closer or a little further away. And then again, stepping that back into a lunge, opening the back of the leg up, back of the pelvis, all the way to the spine. Great. And then padding the feet into the ground again. That's lovely. And then shifting the weight into the foot you've just done. And then we'll do circles with the ball of the foot. See, maybe one side's better than the other. My left foot feels a lot smoother today. Waking up the area where the toes are attached and the back of the ball of the foot. Great. And changing direction. And then the same again, gently tucking the toes under, gently press and open this part of the ankle. That's lovely. Or if that's too much, lifting the heel as far as is comfortable to open the front of the ankle. And then stepping that back into a lunge, opening the back of the leg all the way up into the pelvis and the spine. And again, gently tucking the toes under, opening the front of the ankle, creating space for the ankle joints. And then stepping that back, opening the back of the leg from the heel all the way to the pelvis. Lovely. And then stepping a bit closer, you can have your feet together. Feet together if you can, or a little closer, and then softening the knees so my shoulders and head are relaxed. If that's too much, you can hold onto the pelvis here at the top of the legs. As long as the knees are soft, I'll just turn slightly to one side so you can stay a little more upright if you have problems with the lower back or if that's straining. Making sure the shoulders are soft down the ribs and they're not coming up to your ears. We're just going to circle the knees, sending that lovely synovial fluid around the joints to lubricate the joints, alleviate any stiffness and calm the nerves down the legs. It's also oiling the ankles and the lower back as well. Making sure the head and neck are released and the feet are spread in the ground. And change direction. And they can be large circles or tiny, tiny circles, whatever you feel comfortable today. Great, and then from there, softening the knees and then uncurling. We want the pelvis first and then the head the last. We'll take a wider stance now. We'll do the same. So keeping the legs nice and long, so we don't have them soft and bent. They're nice and long into the pelvis. The feet are spread in the ground. We're just going to take smaller pelvic circles. So the kneecaps are released, they're not gripping, but the legs are still long. Let's oil the joints in the pelvis. All the sacroiliac joint at the back and the hip socket. And the same the other way. Great, and then from there, it's going to bring the feet back into a parallel again. And from here we're going to raise the shoulders up, breathing in. On an out breath, dropping the shoulders. And again, breathing in. And then on an out breath, dropping the shoulders. Let's do that once more, breathing in. On an out breath, dropping the shoulders. Breathing in once more. This time on the out breath, let the shoulder blades slide and melt down the ribs at the back. Lovely. And relax the hands and the wrists. Making sure the feet are still spread in the ground. Lovely. And the head and the neck are released. And we'll let that settle. And then taking the head to the right, just gently look as far as you can. Not straining anything in the neck. That would be me straining. We want to go nice and smooth. And then glide the head to the other side. See how far you can look without feeling uncomfortable. And back to the other side. Let's do that once more each side. To the right. And then to the left. Great, and then back to the centre. I'm going to go chin to chest. Making sure there's nice length at the back of the head and the neck. Just dropping the chin, so we don't want the upper spine just yet. Just the chin to chest. And then let the gaze, the focus follow you up so you're facing the ceiling or somewhere on the wall at the top, the opposite side of the room. And again, let the chin drop to the chest. Let the face relax and the tongue. And again, eyes take you to look up towards the ceiling. There's still space at the back of the neck, so we're not collapsed. Everything's nice and long. Lots of space. And then chin to chest again. And then back to neutral.